So in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about why you should count your calories, even if you're not into the gym. So guys, what is going down, and welcome to another video here on the channel. These can go. These were just to get your attention. We're going to be talking about something very important today, guys. We're going to be talking about counting calories and why you should do it even if you're not into the gym. So why should counting calories matter to you? For any one of us, whether we're bulking, maintaining our weight, or trying to drop body fat, calories are the integral part of doing this. In terms of what we eat on a day-to-day basis, every unit of food, everything you put into your mouth, everything you ingest, has a calorie unit associated with it, which is essentially how much energy is in that food. Every action we take, everything we do every single day, we're burning a certain amount of calories. Basically, all this is a balance of energy, and our bodies are essentially the host of this. So here's the thing though, for a lot of people, counting calories just seems like an annoying thing to do. For some people, it seems like something that only if you're really hard out into the gym and trying to hit fitness goals. The thing is this though, if you're trying to get better in your everyday life, I don't care if you're in the gym or if you're trying to max out in the business world and just be as efficient as possible, you're trying to carry less body fat, whatever it is, just stay healthy. Knowing your calories is going to really help you do and achieve your goals. So for the everyday person, I don't care whether you're into the gym and you've got fitness goals or you're just trying to get by with life, but you just want to be healthy, calorie maintenance and balancing calories is going to be extremely important. You don't just randomly put on fat. And I see this happen with a lot of everyday people who are not into the gym. They've got no idea on calories and what they're eating, and they wind up putting on 10 to 20 kgs post-university, post-school. You start that new job, you've got less exercise, you're eating more calories, but you don't even realize it, and all of a sudden, you've put on 10 kgs or 20 pounds for you American viewers. And this is so scarily common. For the everyday person, if you're not so much into fitness, you really shouldn't look at it as something that hardcore fitness people do and that's all. Understanding your calories is going to be a key to living a healthy and good life. It's important to think of it like this. If you're trying to run a business, and you're going year by year and you're doing some things right, which is selling products, but then you've got all these other things which come into it, your taxes, your wages you're paying, all this kind of stuff. Imagine running a business and then not knowing what all these extra expenses are. Let's say for me, I run a clothing business, which I do, gymstees.com, shout out. Yeah, if I'm running that business and I don't know how much shipping costs within Australia for my domestic orders, and I'm just seeing all this money coming in and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm killing it. What happens when that shipping bill comes in at the end of the month? What happens when the accounting's due, the tax is due at the end of the year? I've got a completely false perspective because I've just been winging it and not following the numbers correctly. Our bodies are exactly the same. So in this video, I want to give you some really good reasons moving forward as to why you should count your calories and get a great understanding of the foods that you're eating. So when you start actually looking at the backs of foods and counting your calories, you'll notice crazy things. You'll find things which look exactly identical, yet on the backs of them, when you start to look at their full calorie intakes for the servings, never look at the serving size. Whenever you're comparing things, look at the 100 grams because that's going to give you the most accurate comparison. A serving size on this could be 100 grams and yet a serving size on this is 150 grams. So if you're comparing serving sizes, you're not accurately comparing them together. So with rice in particular, I've noticed that when going to the supermarkets, if you look on the backs of these things, sometimes they can differ by at least 20 grams of carbohydrates per 100 grams of rice, which is insane. So on an average serving of rice, if you're having a big dinner, 250 grams of rice, that could be an extra 50 grams of carbohydrates which you are consuming when you could just get a different brand of rice, which would save you that extra 200 calories. Now that's really important. So whether you are someone who is trying to gain weight or someone who is trying to lose weight, you always have to vouch for what's the most efficient thing that I can do to help me do that. So obviously you want rice with less calories if you're trying to lose weight. Rice with more calories will be great if you're trying to gain weight and you don't want to eat as much because the volume of the food is the exact same. Now rice aside, this is the exact same for every single thing you see in the supermarket. The amount of times I've gone in there and I've actually looked at the backs of things when I'm about to buy one brand or the other, and you just think, oh, well, it's just the same thing. It's going to be the same anyway. This one's cheaper, I'll get this one. You will be 100% shocked to look on the backs of some of the foods that you get in your local supermarket. So I guarantee you it is worth doing because it is this stuff which is up in the air, which if you're not accounting for, you're going to be putting on that body fat like you don't want to be. You're not going to be gaining the weight like you thought you were because you were eating enough food. When you get an awareness of your calories, you will find you could probably eat the same meals that you're currently loving and enjoying every single day by changing the portion sizes and getting an understanding of what you are putting in your body with the foods which you currently like. Dieting does not have to be this thing in which you're just eating this plain food and it's so hard to stick to, and then you start feeling sad because you're not enjoying it. Dieting does not have to be like that. With the resources that we have access to now with the internet, even just going on Google, apps like myfitnesspal, I'll link some of these things below, you can track the food that you're currently eating and find out the exact calories to make modifications of your portion sizes. A classic example for someone like myself, I love peanut butter on wraps. Now, if you know much about peanut butter, you'll know it's very high in fat, and fat is very high in calories. So funnily enough, actually today was the first day, and this was what kind of inspired me to do this video. I realized that these last few days, I've just been spreading peanut butter on my wraps as much as I want. And these last few weeks, I've been gaining a bit more body fat than I would really have liked. Not a crazy amount, but just enough to notice it. And so I realized, I said, well, Freeze, look at the way you're eating. You're just spreading peanut butter randomly on your wrap. This is actually a food which I've dieted successfully with in the past. And how I did that was controlling the portion sizes. So instead of just slopping a whole bunch on, 25 grams on my wrap. And so today I weighed that out, and that fits into my daily calorie targets of my goal. As opposed to what I've been doing for the last few weeks, which is just spreading on, and I actually weighed the other day how much I actually put on just out of curiosity. And I put on 60 grams instead of what I can put on, which is 25, and still be happy with the meal. If you know anything about peanut butter, you'll know that's an extra 200 calories at least, and it could be that amount of calories which is causing your body to store energy in the form of fat. So here's what's really important to say. This isn't just like an 8-week mindset kind of thing. This is something that when you have this knowledge, when you have the tools to track, you can take this with you for the rest of your life. I'm not every single day when I have to put 25 grams of peanut butter on my wrap saying, oh, what's the calories on this because I need to track it. No, I've done it once and I know it. So now I know what I'm doing moving forward. It gives me a better overall perspective to help me be successful with my goals in future. And that's gonna bring me to another point. When you're at some random place and you're eating food which you've never eaten before, you can track that stuff on Google, on myfitnesspal. There's plenty of apps. You can find out exactly how many calories are in that to keep under control, especially if you're going on a holiday. It's very easy to just overeat and splurge out, but we all know when you're doing that, you don't feel good after it. But like I was saying, with the beauty of this is like you can still eat your same foods that you love and just track them and lower the portion sizes and enjoy the damn meal without feeling the guilt and the overeating, which is so easy to do. Now this is gonna bring me to my next point, which I wanna make. I know there's gonna be some people who are eating just a lot of food, they're not tracking the calories on it, but they're getting great results and they're thinking, you know, I don't even need to track calories, this is all good, I'm bulking, I'm putting on good muscle and size in the gym. There's gonna be other people who are saying, you know, I'm actually just eating less than what I normally would, just intuitively, and I'm seeing great results, I don't even need to track calories. Here's the thing, if you're doing something and it's actually working great for you, it is really important to actually track in and find those calories of what you're currently doing and what you have been doing if it's working. And then you've got a set point of perspective for what works really well for you. That way, if anything changes in your life, circumstances, anything like that, you can go back and you know exactly what you were doing when things were working so good. Again, if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, you hit points where you plateau and it becomes a thing of, well, what do I do when I plateau? Obviously, you've got to go one way or the other in terms of your energy expenditure. And that's when knowing your calories is going to make such a difference to achieving your goals in life. So you might be wondering, well, where's a good place to start? How do I start tracking my calories? What do I need to try hit for when I'm starting? So I've got a bit of an analogy here, right? We're in my office space. This is my desk. This is where I do a lot of my work, my planning of business stuff, working with clients. I actually work one-on-one individually with clients to construct sustainable diets. If that's something you're interested in, you can give me a DM on Instagram or click one of my coaching links below. But in terms of a place to start, if you're watching this right now, look at my desk, for example. This is basically an accumulation of stuff which is randomly on my workspace. And there's some things on here which I need to keep on my desk because I write on them, some of these notes with my pens and stuff like that. But there's also just so much random crap on here and it doesn't need to be on here. Now looking at my desk, I can look and see exactly what is unnecessary right now and what I can take off and clean up the workspace essentially. That is what, if you're watching this, you should ideally be doing. You should say, okay, what am I currently eating every single day? So for the next 3 days, I'd recommend it'll be really worth finding out what you eat. So not changing anything and just actually tracking every single meal you eat and figuring out your daily calories and what you're currently taking on board. And with that, over the next 3 days, you're gonna get a picture of, okay, wow, I've been eating 3,200 calories every single day. And maybe you've been wondering why you're gaining weight because you thought you were eating 2,000 calories or something like that. You'll be really surprised, and this happens to a lot of people. So I think it's very important for you to kind of figure out your place where you're at now and just understand what you're currently eating and say, all right, well, you know, I want to be under this by at least 600 calories because I am overeating. So looking at that, what can you take away from that? They're just unnecessary. What's the most unnecessary calories? You'll see it. Maybe for you watching this, like me, it was that extra 35 grams of peanut butter randomly on my wrap, which I didn't need to have. Already, that's pulling down the calories. And basically, like for me in my workspace here, I've got a lot of cleaning up to do. And that's just sometimes what you really need to do. Things in life, you know, circumstances change, things change. And before you know it, you know, I've got a messy desk here. Your diet might be the exact same, but it's up to us to have that responsibility as individuals. Like I said, this is the accounting for our bodies, for the way we function. We got to fix that. We got to get on top of that, or else life is going to get difficult and you're going to run into problems and you're going to get results which are not the results that you want. So the next thing, where do you go to from there? Once you've got an understanding of what you're actually eating, and you might be shocked. Let's say you're trying to shred, you're gonna have to cut things. If you're trying to bulk, you're gonna have to add food in there because you're not eating enough food. Everyone's metabolisms are gonna be different as you get older. This is gonna change as you move for work and your job gets more physical. You know, things happen and you have to eat more food. Sometimes you have to eat less foods. Like I said, whether you're into fitness or not, trying to gain muscle or lose body fat, most people don't want to get fat. Why would you want to get fat? As soon as you're carrying excess body fat, that is not good for you. It makes you feel slow, it makes you feel sluggish. That's the last thing you want. So where do you start once you've realized what you're currently eating? The best bet is to just move forward and say, okay, I am going to cut these calories by 300, 400 calories. Pick a point. Let's say you're eating 3,000 calories and you've been gaining weight. Okay, what happens if I eat 2,500 calories from this point forward? And you track that and you get an understanding of that amount of food and you eat that every day for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I always would recommend that you do 2 to 3 weeks and see how your body responds. A lot of people, when they're trying to diet and all this stuff, people are impatient. They don't see results in 3 days and they expect, oh, well, this isn't working. Like, oh, this was a waste of time, or I'm gonna have to cut even more further. Chances are you just need to follow something consistently for at least 2 to 3 weeks to get a good gauge of the changes in terms of your body and more so just how you're feeling in general. So my advice to you moving forward, if you're someone watching this, see what you can do for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Make that change. Track what you've just been eating. Remember, calorie counting is essentially accounting like a business for your body. If you're not doing that, you're just in the dark. Like I said, you're going to be getting random results, and so many people overestimate and underestimate how much they're eating and say, no, it's just not working. Why would you do that when you can get an exact number to go by for reference to move forward with your goals, whether it's fitness, life goals, just being healthier in general? And that's the end of the story. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a comment below if you did. Make sure you thumbs it up. I'll leave another video right here for you to watch if you haven't seen this one, and also another video right here. I really appreciate you guys' support on the channel. It means the world. I want to grow this thing 2020. Let's go. It's going to be good quality videos all year. Freeze fam, but we're getting it. You know what it is. Peace out. Freeze fam. Boom.